Dave Snyder here. It is the 20th day of September 2013, and just let me try to explain how I did this right here. I was looking at an overlay that I did a while back because I've seen this, this nice weather pattern here, and I know that my fault line overlay right here, because this is what I put this here because it lined up with the fault line one day. The New Madrid fault seismic zone, and there was a weather pattern there. You can watch it in one of my videos. But I looked at this and I could see that it was fitting real good today. You can see the weather. Watch as I fade it out. This is a reversed image of a crater on the moon, a big crater on the moon that actually is the source of our planet. All the continents, all the oceans. This crater right here, when you flip it over and put it over the Earth, it will fit over every single continent on the planet. And this is one place that it actually hits. Actually, the other areas of the moon actually shape themselves toward like Mare Oriental, because it's like this crater hits the Earth right here. This one shapes the continents somehow, shapes the continents. Then the other areas of the moon hit the same spot, and they're similarly shaped to this crater. Each, like the south pole of the moon, it shares similarities with this crater here. Now it shows this to be very much larger than the actual than the size they say the moon is. They say the moon is a couple thousand miles in diameter, but it has to be bigger because this crater is always this size wherever you fit this on the Earth. It's always this size, about 3,500 miles approximately, which is much bigger than the moon. Just this crater. So, anyways, and I'm not saying that's a perfectly accurate reading or measurement, but it's at least 5 times the size, I'd say, because Schrodinger shows that all the time. And I'm going to show you something right here. Now, I noticed looking at this picture. You see this oval crater right here? See that oval crater? And you see this weather pattern? See that little cloud right there? And this one here? Well, what I did is I decided I would... oh, don't disappear. Okay, so you can see that fits really well. That weather that fits really well. You can see the curve right here. Everything. This overlay has been here for months and months. At least 5 months. Okay, at least. And I haven't moved it. All I do is bring up the weather to see how it fits all the time. Every once in a while, I mean... And it always fits perfect. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the pattern there. Okay, it does absolutely. Look at this pattern of the weather. The cloud going up here. Watch. Look at that. It fits right in there. You got this patch here. You see the curves. Everything's curving in the right place. But anyways, I turned this off, and I decided, since I saw that right there, I decided to bring up a new picture. Another picture of Mare Oriental and put it over this spot. I wanted to line it up, and when I put the picture down, it put it really close to that area right here. This oval crater right behind here, it put it right about here. Actually, I just had to adjust it a little bit, but check it out. And then look up here. Look at this patch right here. See the curve? Look at right here on the moon. It's just a little bit off, just maybe not much. Now I could probably, this crater right here might go with this crater. I might have to just turn it because it looks like this one is a little more, it should be a little more sideways or something, or maybe that's the center. Let's just play with it for a while. I like to do things in front of people, during the making of the video, because it just it doesn't look so set up. I'm not trying to fool anybody here. I'm going to try that right there, just to see what happens. So I'm going to leave it there. And this looks like it lines up a little bit better, the weather here. It's more of the oval shape that way. But this being the center, let's see how that fits now. That one's a little bit off now, it looks like, maybe. Just playing around here. Let's just see what happens. Something usually will work out eventually. We'll get it right. I know you're probably seeing some things line up, but maybe this is this crater. I'll try that too. I don't know. I don't think it is, but we'll try it. I don't think it's that. Let's see. It's got to go like this to be that one. So let's bring it down. Maybe it is that one. Let's go like that right there. See how those two craters are lined up now with that? Let's see how that fits the Earth. This is pretty close now. Maybe that is how it goes. Yep, I'm starting to think it is. Let's take a look at it over the Earth. Turn the weather off. and just look at it where it landed, because I had no idea. Oh, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I've never had it like that before, but very good possibility. As we can see, if we back it off, we can see South America definitely was impacted. Now, I don't know if it was like this or not, but there's a lot of different ways it'll fit. Let's go take a look at this crater here. See what's on the land. If there's anything like that there. Almost seems like I put this here before. I see something right there. That could be it. Possibly. It's pretty close. No, it's bigger than that. Maybe I got it too big, because it's lined up to the weather, which could be bigger. Bigger than it is on the Earth, just a little bit, not much. Let's take a look at some other stuff in here. That looks like it fits pretty good. Watch this area right here. See, I just noticed something. See this black area right here where it comes to that point? Right here comes to like a point. That looks like it could be there. I see a lot of similarities to that area there. That's the claw print of the stakes. What do you call that? The Amazon being right in the middle of it. Look at that. Pushing up the Andes right there. This area blowing out, pushing the Andes up, possibly in that area. See, I landed up to that crater, right? This one and that one. Huh. Check that weather again. Well, anyways, see what I mean? That's how I usually do it. Anyways, you see that's a pretty distinct oval shape, that crater, that cloud pattern right there. Goes in there one way or some way. It goes in there. Maybe it may not be this way, but it goes into South America for sure. It fits there. Let's see what else is going on today on the Earth. There's also an impact right here. See this area here, which is, you can see on the land actually, right on the coast of South America right here. You can see this. See how this is round over here and it cuts off on the land? It stops. Well, if you look at the land in this location, you can see the impact edge right here. It goes like, starts here and comes around like this. That's the edge, and then it continues around right here. It's a big impact right there. And I've had that lined up before perfectly, and I don't know which one. It's somewhere on my list in here. I don't know where it is. I just get so much stuff, and then I just forget about all the good stuff that I have already done, unfortunately. And you know, so I gotta, I don't know. I go over stuff a couple times, it seems like. Here's the one I did yesterday. I showed yesterday, which is right here. Let's see how that one's good, lining up. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's see how it looks today. It should still align somewhat. I can see the, turn this crap off here. It does still fit. Yeah, still fitting there. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it shows the true size. Look, I lined this up. I let the program put this picture in place yesterday, and I made a video about it, and I showed this section right here, this little spot. Let me zoom in real good on that for you. And it shows, what it shows is the actual size of the moon. Look at that pattern right there. That's just that spot. Look at it's. The program put the picture in place at 1,200 miles. This crater at 1,200 miles in diameter. On the moon, if you measure this crater, the Schrodinger crater, if you measure it, it's only 200 miles in diameter on the moon. But everywhere I find it on the Earth, and I mean I find it everywhere on the Earth, in the weather all the time. And look, and I lined it I let the program align it to the weather. And when I took the weather away and looked right here, this is what was there. I mean, that right there tells you someone's bullshitting us about the size of the moon. And the fact that it's even hit the Earth, they try to tell you it's impossible that it could hit the Earth. I mean, I fail to see how it could be impossible. The moon is right there. If meteorites can come through and hit the Earth, why can't the moon? I mean, it's done it many times, not just one time, not just 2 times, not 3 times, but many times. The South Pole of the moon, all the big craters on the moon that you see, people, are from impacts with our Earth. There might even be a couple from impacting with Venus, because there's a big print on Venus that matches one on the moon. And same with Mars. I think Mare Oriental, the crater I showed you earlier, hit Mars. If you look at Mars, the big crater on Mars, it fits it absolutely perfect. It fits it absolutely perfect. So the moon has been bouncing off things in our solar system, I think, for quite some time. And you just have to look. You just have to reverse the lunar images over the planets. You can only do so many planets, though. I mean, you know, we can only see the surface of so many planets. So Mars you can do, and you can do Venus, and that's about it. And there's prints on Venus that absolutely match the moon, and there's prints all over. I mean, you just look at the Earth. Anybody with common sense can see the pattern on the Earth if you just look at it. Nobody seems to look at the big circular patterns that are right in front of our faces on the Earth. You just look at the globe, you can see them. I mean, if you can't, you better take a good look at the planet that you live on, because you're not. If you don't see that, if you're only seeing like little tiny dinosaur things where they say the dinosaurs, you know, this little thing right here, you're missing the big picture. You're absolutely missing the big picture. That's nothing. This is nothing. That would not kill all the dinosaurs and shit. That little thing. And I mean, they're talking little stuff to hit in the Earth that it would wipe out a city or whatever. Big deal. Big fucking deal. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. Look at that big circle. Don't ignore it. Figure out what does it. You know what I mean? Don't ignore it. Don't deny it, because it's not. It is absolutely there. That's what I think. I think people just deny it. They don't want to find out the truth. You know, when I first saw the first thing that just showed me that I was absolutely 100% correct about the moon hitting the Earth, it kind of freaked me out. It kind of freaked me out. I got to be honest about that. It kind of spooked me a little bit. But as I've seen more and more and more things fit constantly every day, I don't even have to try anymore. I just put them down, and basically they put themselves in place most of the time. Sometimes I have to do a little adjusting, and it takes a little work, but not much. Once you become familiar with the lunar images, the lunar shapes of the craters and things, which I'm not completely familiar with. There's ones I haven't even worked with yet, hardly. Just a couple times, and then they get left in the, I just forget about them. But there's a lot more than I've even worked with. That I've found enough already. I've seen enough already. I already know. I can tell by the geologic history of the Earth, what they tell us about the Earth and the geologic history of it, and the catastrophic things that have happened in the past, not from meteors, not from comets, not from asteroids, but the moon hitting the Earth and causing an ice age, and the Earth not coming back, for thousands of years probably. If anything lives, it's not. It would have a hard time. That's why alligators, are one of the only things that survive, and things like that. Some ocean creatures, and not much, but some things do survive. But it ain't. I can tell it's not easy. And I mean, look, the moon's hit right here. Pulled up the Rocky Mountains. It's so many times. I've found Schrodinger there recently. You've seen the video about it I made about it. I've seen Schrodinger down here. I've seen Schrodinger right here. Schrodinger over here in Europe. Stonehenge is Schrodinger. If you look at Schrodinger and you look at Stonehenge, you overlay them over the top of each other, you will absolutely see that Schrodinger is Stonehenge is a representation of the Schrodinger crater. Schrodinger was an important guy, apparently, because they named a very important crater after him. I mean, I don't know about this whole thing about Schrodinger's cat or whatever like that, but he was very, they named a very important crater after that guy. And his birthday just happens to be the same day as mine. I found that out yesterday. That kind of tripped me out, because I've been working on Schrodinger for a while, and it's kind of strange that both of us, born on the same day, must have discovered the same. He must have discovered the same thing, a long time ago, long before me. That's for sure. I mean, I'm not definitely not saying I discovered this for the first time. This has definitely been seen many times by other scientists, and I'm not even a scientist. I'm just saying it's right in front of your face. You can't deny it. It's absolutely there. And if you want to deny it, that's up to you. That's your choice. If you want to just believe in something else or think it's something else, it's they say, like in Sailor Moon, it's better that your future remain undecided or unknown or whatever. They say it's better that way. So maybe it is better that way. Maybe I shouldn't try to point it out so much. And maybe that's why most people refuse to see it. But, I'm just putting it out there. It just makes everything easier to figure out. Everything else easier to figure out. Why the Earth is like it is. It answers that question. It makes it easier to figure out why things are the way they are. It's not very difficult. I mean, you can think it's plate tectonics, whatever you want. That's up to you. Plate tectonics, I'm not saying they do not exist. I'm sure you can call that whatever they're doing. Plate tectonics, it exists, sure. But it's not what pushes the continents around and creates the mountains. I mean, yeah, the mountains are growing little bits at a time, but it's not what created the mountains to what they are today. It's not. Cannot be. So anyways, I'll end it there. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.